What is up, gang, gang, gang squad? I am back with another freaking video. My vocal cords. But today is the day. You already know. I said in my last video, I was gonna read this haunted book to y'all. If y'all gonna listen and gonna have some correct manners. But whatever, let's just get started with the video. Let's get started. Yeah. USA. USA. Alright, let's just stop playing. I'm gonna start from the beginning. But I was on page 4. I barely even watched. I barely even read this because I'm always on my phone. So, those of me, I love iPhones. I have an iPhone 6S. And you know when I'm always, when you always want to go on your phone. You want to go on your phone. Alright, let's get started because Alright, so this story is called Wait Till Helen Comes. Yeah. Mary Downing Hand. Wait till Helen comes. Alright, so let's get started. Another Vows by Mary Downing Hand. I'm not reading this yet. I'm gonna read this when I'm done with the first chapter. Alright. And it has a little map. Shows what a church is, and then the woods, the creek, the Happer house, Happer pond, and I can't read the other stuff, but whatever. Another cornfield, living room, kitchen, Clark Road, pastor. Yeah, I'm not. FK Sweet Media Censor 5 years 43495. Alright, chapter 1. You brought a church? Michael and I looked up from the pile of homework covering most of the kitchen table. I was in the middle of writing a poem for Mr. Pelowski's English class, and Michael was working his way happily through 20 math questions. Mom filled a kettle with water and put it on the stove. Her cheeks were pink from the March wind, and so was the tip of her nose. You and Molly sort of place Dave and I have been looking for all winter. There's a carriage house for him to use as a pottery workshop and space in the chore loft. For me to set up a studio, it's perfect. But how can we live in a church? Michael precised, refusing to be won over by her enthusiasm. Gotta wear my glasses while I read, because if I don't, then I will have to be like this. I look so different without my glasses. This is how I look without my glasses. This is how I look now. Alright, so it's not really a church anymore. Mom said. Some people from Philadelphia bought it last year and built an addition on the side for living quarters. They were going to set up antique and up an antique store and actual church. But after doing all the work, they decided they didn't like living in the country after all. It's out in the country. I found at the little cat I was doodling in the margin of my notebook paper. Mom smiled and gazed past me, out our kitchen window and into Mrs. Overton's window directly across the alley. I had a feeling she was seeing herself standing in front of an easel working on one of her huge oil paintings, far from what she had called soul-killing life of the city. She was madding, whatever that word is, habit of drifting away into her private dream world just when you need her most. Where's the church? I asked loudly. Where is it? Mom poured boiling water into her cup and added honey. It's in Hollowell, Maryland, not far from the mountains. It's beautiful, just beautiful. The perfect place for painting and potting. But what about Molly and me? What are we supposed to do while you and Dave paint and make pottery? Michael asked. You promised I could be in the enrichment program this summer. I said, thinking about the creative writing class I was planning to take. Will I still be able to? Yes, and what about science club? Michael asked. I'm already signed up for it. Mr. Phillips is going to take us to the aquarium and the science center. Even the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian in Washington. Mom sighed and shook her head. I'm afraid you two will have to make other plans for summer. Well, we'll be moving in June, and I can't possibly drive all the way back to Baltimore every day. But I've been looking forward to science club all year. Michael's voice rose, and I could tell. Yes. What are you doing? Reading. Huh? Reading. Sorry about that, my dad. Now I forgot where I was. Michael's voice rose, and I could tell he was trying hard not to cry. You'll have plenty of woods to explore, Mom said calmly. Just think of all the wildlife you can observe and the insects you can add to your collection. Why, the day Dave and I were there, we saw a raccoon, a possum, a woodchuck, and dozens of squirrels. Mom leaned across the table, smiling, hoping to convince Michael that he was going to love living in a church way out in the country, miles away from Mr. Phillips and Science Club. But Michael wasn't easy to convince. Slumping down in his chair, mumbled, I'd rather stay in Baltimore, even if I never say anything. But huh? Where's she going? See anything but cockroaches, pigeons, and rats. Oh, for heaven's sake, Michael. Mom looked exasperated. You're 10 years old. Act like it. As Michael opened his mouth to defend himself, Heather appeared in the kitchen in the kitchen doorway, responding no doubt to her built-in radar from.
Yeah, what you want?
Huh?
What do you eat?
I don't know.
You want something? You want a burrito? You want some eat fruit? You did something what? You got dog food? You didn't have nothing to eat today? Nothing fried fish to eat? Somebody put a radio down there, nobody. Yeah, look. In that big one.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, guys, but what was that? Act like it. As Michael opened his mouth to defend himself, Heather appeared in the kitchen doorway, responding, no doubt, to her built-in radar from detecting trouble. Her pale gray eyes roved from Mom to Michael, then to me, and back again to Mom. From the experience on her face, I imagined she was hoping to witness bloodish screams and ghastly scene of domestic violence. Why, Heather? I was wondering where you were. Mom turned to her, infusing her voice with enthusiasm again. Guess what? Your daddy and I have found a new place for us to live, way out in the country. Won't that be fun? She gave Heather a dazzling romper room smile and reached out to embrace her. What with the skill of a cat, Heather sidestepped Mom's arms and peered out the kitchen window. Daddy's home, she announced without looking at us. Oh no, I forgot to put the casserole in the oven. Mom ran to the refrigerator and pulled out a koshin eggplant, cheese, tomatoes, and bulgur, and shoved it into the oven as Dave opened the back door, bringing a blast of cold March air into the room with him. After giving Mom a hug and a kiss, he swooped Heather and up into his arms. How's my girl? He boomed. Heather twined her arms possessively around his neck and smiled coyly. They were fighting, she said, darting a look at Michael and me. Dave glanced at Mom, and she smiled and shook her head. We were just discussing our big move to the country. That's all. Nobody was fighting Heather. Mom turned on the cold water and began rinsing lettuce leaves from a salad. I don't like it when they fight. Heather tightened her grip on Dave's neck. Come on, Michael. I stood up and started gathering my books and papers together. Let's finish our homework downstairs. Dinner will be ready in half an hour. Mom called after us as we started down the basement steps. As soon as we were safely out, everybody's hearing range, I turned to Michael. What are we going to do? He flopped down on the old couch in front of the television. Nothing. It's too late, Molly. They've bought the church and we're moving there. Period. That's the end of chapter 2. That's the end of chapter 1. I read that. Well, I read like